Millions of people in this country apparently believe the acceptable response to speech they don't like is murder.
In a recent video, the left-leaning content creator Head talked about how on the eve of Charlie Kirk's death, our eyes have really been open to just how nasty people become. And frankly, I kind of feel that way myself.
This wasn't just a bunch of fringe blue hair SJWs or whatever. They were teachers, professors, doctors, HR workers, healthcare workers, nurses, pediatricians, people who work with kids, people's classmates, roommates. They are teachers showing our children the gory, horrifying video of Charlie's murder on repeat.
When I first made this channel, in fact, all my life, I have wanted to spend my time persuading people, changing their minds, spending the actual energy necessary to put my words out there into the ether, and hope that someone somewhere would see what I say and see the logic of it and see the reason of it and have their worldview changed. Even if it was that small, tiny chance of it happening, it was worthwhile. It was worth the effort in my opinion. But after seeing so many people rejoice Charlie Kirk's death and seeing so many just be completely nasty online, I have to say my worldview has completely changed, just like shoes.
Charlie Kirk was a Nazi. And you know what kind of Nazi is the best Nazi? A dead one.
I am a better person than you for celebrating the death of a Nazi. And actually, it's pretty weird that you're not, and simultaneously asking people to have empathy for the Nazi.
Nazis have children and families, right? But Nazis also get shot in the neck.
They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you.
They don't call us Nazis because we're Nazis. They call us Nazis because they want us to be Nazis, so they can feel justified in whatever sick fantasy they have in their head. There seems to be a great dearth of reason in this country. Maybe most of that is just social media and people passing around the same idiocy back and forth over time. Or even as Shu says, perhaps social media is just made us all numb to the specter of death. Made us all numb to the idea of watching someone just shot on the internet. I don't know really what the cause is, but something needs to change.
The way we view death now is just crazy, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with the desensitization, in part thanks to the internet. You used to have to go out of your way to see gore and stuff like that, and now you're just scrolling through Twitter and you see someone set on fire if someone gets stabbed on a train. And when someone like Charlie dies, it's not even real to people anymore. Like, it's like a movie or show. Oh, that character died? Good, I hated that character. Like, no, that was a real human being with a family and kids, actually. Like, that was someone's son. The internet has turned real people into nothing but cartoon characters that disappear when you close an app.
Charlie Kirk was the everyman. Charlie Kirk could have been me. Charlie Kirk could have been Shu. Now, we've seen all the crazy people across the internet for years. I know personally I've seen it for probably about a decade. You get used to being harassed and being called names and whatnot. It's whatever. It comes with territory. But there's something in particular. There's something very unique about thousands, hundreds of thousands of your countrymen coming out and saying that someone who just got shot live on camera deserved it, or they had it coming to them. There's something very eye-opening and disturbing about that, because it's sick. In my opinion, there are probably 4 groups of people in the United States right now. The first group is everyone that is shocked that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. If you're in this group, congratulations, you're a human being. The second group is the people who didn't know anything about Charlie Kirk, saw that he was assassinated and thought it was terrible, and decided to actually look up and figure out what was going wrong. Maybe they even had a bad opinion before. They decided to look up and see what his actual statements were and realized, oh, that wasn't that bad. Why does everyone hate him again? By the way, if you're in this group, you're still a human being. And then the third group is the group that says, well, he shouldn't have been shot, but, he probably deserved it. Or it couldn't have happened to a worse person. They will implicitly stand on the side of his assassination, even though they won't come out and say it. They are the ones that will call him a racist. They are the ones that believe everything that the mainstream media will say. And they will even take a bunch of extremely obviously cherry-picked statements that are cut off right at the crucial points that Charlie Kirk said, and they'll post them out there and say, I see conservatives, that's what he said. He's a racist. That proves it. And you know they're lying. They know they're lying. Then you have the fourth group. The fourth group who just come out and says, yep, Charlie Kirk should have been dead and you're next. These are the demons, okay? These are just straight up, they're the demons. They're the ones who got up and danced when Charlie got shot. They're the ones who celebrated and made videos laughing about it and memes, taking the moment of him being shot and just replaying it over and over, putting it to some music. Like, what is this? What is this? How is it even human to even act like this in the West? Such a person doesn't even deserve a civilized society. Now, at the very least, they're honest about what they believe, but obviously this is still sick. But before I get off track, these last two groups, the ones that say that Charlie Kirk deserved getting shot, and then the ones that say that Charlie Kirk didn't necessarily deserve it, but let me be honest with you. They're on the same side. To say otherwise would be like arguing that troops that go overseas and fight in wars are on the same side as the people who support those wars. They're the same. What makes this all the more disgusting is that the people who want to go out and kill, the people who want to murder people on the right, have their beliefs constantly justified by a far left culture that does not value truth. The left themselves will tell you that they value power, and politics is all about power, and struggles are just about people vying for power. But in reality, that's because that's what they believe. They believe in power. That is their utmost moral. They believe in getting power in any way possible that's most pragmatic to them. It's not a coincidence that so many people on the left, and especially the far left, have these crazy ideas of how the right is supposedly racist and how the right is supposedly full of all these terrible fascist authoritarian leanings. There's a reason for that. It's because they feel most satisfied in that belief, and if you try to tell them otherwise, it will require them to completely unearth their worldview to change that belief. And they're not interested in that. They are interested in forwarding their belief. They're interested in forwarding their worldview. In order to do so, they are okay with lying. If you call them out on that lie, then they'll just say something like, "Oh, are you trying to take away my freedom of speech? Are you trying to silence me? Or are you trying to be judgmental?" They'll try to take your moral belief system or my moral belief system and hold it against us. The moral belief system they don't even hold themselves. And that's probably been one of the most disgusting and eye-opening things that's happened in this last week. People on the left will find any reason to justify hating someone that they want to hate. That's all it is to it. Just like the kid at that one protest that was standing there, just smiling at an Indian. And everyone on the media tried to vilify him and say that he was evil. And everyone online was trying to say that he must have been calling the Indian racist slurs or something. And obviously he precipitated everything that happened. And everything that happened was all his fault. He's just standing there. He's just standing there. And this guy walks up to him and starts acting an idiot in his face. And the kid just stands there. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes for the left to hate you, is for you to exist. And that's exactly what happened to Charlie Kirk. What happened to Charlie Kirk was precipitation from that kid just standing there staring at the Indian. It was a precipitation from Kyle Rittenhouse defending himself against those random leftists and pedophiles that were running him down. The left wasn't capable of winning on those battlefields, and so now it has moved to the next battlefield, creating an actual battlefield. And that's not something that I really want for our country. I don't want a civil war. I don't want violence to become the norm. I don't want someone on my side to suddenly decide to say that it's time to retaliate. I think that's wrong. But it's clear now that we've had one of our first political assassinations in a long time that I'm afraid that that's something that can't be put back in the bag. Charlie Kirk wasn't someone crazy. Charlie Kirk wasn't this great, amazing debater. Charlie Kirk wasn't a far-right politician. He was just an average guy. And if an average guy can be lied about, have his life destroyed, and eventually be killed, we are not in a good place.
I still have all my economic left opinions. I'm for strong social safety nets, workers' rights, unions, wealth caps, whatever. That has not changed. This is not me leaving the left because, frankly, I don't even know how to do that. This is me and many, many people looking around us at our so-called allies and realizing that even though we might share some, political opinions, we fundamentally do not have the same values or morals. And are we really allies if we agree on, taxes, but don't agree on the sanctity of human life? I don't know.
She doesn't say that she's going to move from being on the left to just being a right-wing trad mom or something, but it has definitely changed her world view in that it's changed literally how she sees the world and how she's seen America.
Which, first of all, we were just watching a whole bunch of people celebrate killing someone over political differences. You are never taking our guns now. That is not happening. I was trying to grasp onto a flotation device, checking all of these accounts for their take, be normal, be normal. Nothing. Nobody. I'm just drowning in a sea of evil, apparently. Maybe I was just blind up until now. Maybe they changed. Maybe I changed. Is everyone going crazy, or am I going crazy? I don't know.
A lot of people that she was looking up to or looking to see what their reactions were, hoping that they would be sane, just weren't. And there's something that is gut-wrenching about that. And now it's clear that whatever demonic possession or whatever evil has just shown itself in America, that cannot be allowed to win in this country. Because if it does, we are over She mentioned that just like these people would cheer on and did cheer on Charlie Kirk's death, she feels that they would also cheer on her death.
But if they would celebrate an exact clone of you that wasn't you, that had all the same opinions, or some of the opinions that you have, if they would celebrate that clone being murdered, they're not your friend. I'm friends with people who are friends with Charlie, and I see how they are completely broken about this. Seeing them like this, and then at the same time my other friends posting like, "Rip bozo." It's just sick.
If they would cheer on someone who was an exact copy or exact clone of her, or a clone of her with similar opinions dying, then what's the difference between them just cheering her on being dead? How are these people friends? How are these people human? No, they're sick. But kind of like Shion has said, I feel like I've had a change in this last week. Not just because I've seen all these people be disgusting, but this channel is supposed to be about having balanced takes. But when it comes to Charlie Kirk, what's the balanced take? Don't laugh at humans being shot on live camera? What take am I supposed to have here that's in the middle of the road? In fact, I've lost about 10 subscribers since I've started talking about this, which for most people doesn't matter. For small YouTuber like me, that's a lot of people. That's probably like 6 shorts and 2 videos worth of work. That's a lot of time and effort. But if someone is following me and they're not willing to say, hey, making fun of people dying is bad, then I'm sorry. I guess I won't miss you. The balanced take here is be a human being, don't be a demon. Yay. But in the end, there are a lot of people all over the country who are feeling a similar way right now. With Charlie Kirk's funeral just yesterday wrapping up, a lot of people feeling that they want to return to church. A lot of people actually did go to church yesterday. So in the end, there's something positive coming out of this. Maybe we have a miniature, tiny revival in the United States. Maybe we realize a lot of things that we just held on to is important really aren't that important. Maybe we come together and say that perhaps there is something demonic, however you want to put it, going on in this country, and we need to band together and stop it. And yes, that means go to church. Yes, that means start making good choices. Yes, that means get back together with your family. Yes, that means seek God. Because without those things, I don't think we can survive. We need something that will unify us, and we need something that unifies us that's good. And spending time focusing on just ourselves is not going to do that. Everyone has competing interests. Everyone has something different they want. Everyone has different goals in life. But if we can unify under a banner of good, then that would be good for the country. At least point us in a right direction. And anyone that you saw that was celebrating a man getting shot on camera, well, you know where they stand. They've made themselves clear. They're not beating around the bush about it. Take them at their word. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Definitely go check out Shion Head's channel if you like politics or cultural nonsense or even memes and things like that, which she actually normally does a lot of cultural memes and whatnot, and jokes about and rags on feminists and whatnot. But let me know what you think. Were you really shocked by what's happened this last week? Did it open your eyes? Was it something that just have given you great pause, made you wonder about the people who live in this country? Or are you just someone who just completely taken back and just popped up out of nowhere and you're like, what is going on? Why are these people celebrating a man dying? Were you one of those people who were just genuinely shocked? Let me know, because I realized lately there are a lot of people who are just in that normie camp and just out of nowhere something popped up on their horizon that was politics related that they couldn't ignore. And if you're one of those people, I'm sorry. It's probably going to get worse. But regardless, feel free to go check out some other content. I also normally talk about a bunch of culture issues. It's been rather heavy lately with Charlie Kirk and whatnot, but normally I talk about anything ranging from immigration to California wildfires. But whether you decide to binge watch the rest of my content, or this is the first time you decide to pop through and wonder who in the world is this random man on camera, I'm glad to have you, and hopefully my cold finally leaves me. It's been bugging me for a while, so I apologize, my voice isn't quite right. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye!